That's right. You just explained to little Jimmy that he's suffering from a reaction formation induced by a feeling of rejection due to his father being overseas when he was 2. That is correct. And I'm sure he'll start eating properly again just as soon as you tell him. Oh, no trouble at all. You're very, very welcome. Send him Miss Lawton, please.
Mr. Carter?
Yes. Please be seated.
Thank you.
Your file, Miss Lawton. You've come to us with an excellent background. Psychology major, Hartwell University. Oh, and I like this summer seminar on the aspects of adolescent behaviorism.
Well, I have tried to prepare myself thoroughly for social service work. There's so much good to be done, particularly with the proper application of psychological principles.
Exactly, Miss Lawton. Well, I think we're ready to try our wings. Your first case, Miss Lawton. You brought a notebook with you.
Oh, yes, sir.
Winters family. Father, 2 children. Girl 12, boy 8. Father refuses to keep children in school.
Oh, I see. I'm to induce the man to put the children back in school.
Well, that's not the entire case. Mr. Winters moved into a house at the beach 2 months ago, and, there was a woman who moved in with him and the children at that time.
His wife?
Well, the evidence is inconclusive. She moved out 2 weeks later, according to the neighbors. Mr. Winters, according to our files, is a widower. We have nothing to indicate that he married again.
I see. Revolt against accepted.
Also, it seems he does nothing for a living.
Irresponsible.
And again, according to the neighbors, all he does is fish and play games with the children.
Seems to fit into the pattern.
In my opinion, it is not only the children, but the man himself who needs rehabilitation. Are you ready to proceed, Miss Lawton?
All I need is the address.
813 Ocean Road.
I'll get on it immediately.
Fine spirit, Miss Lawton. Glad to have you on the team.
I'll have a report for you as soon as possible.
Good luck.
Rags has such beautiful eyes and such a nice smile. He makes a wonderful model, doesn't he, Pop?
He's a little wriggly, otherwise he's excellent.
I bet he could pose for ads in magazines.
Yeah, I just see those ads. He's lovely, he's engaged, he uses flea powder.
I finished, Pop. Take a look. His legs are too long. He looks like a horse. Well, I like horses, too.
And let's not be too critical, Cindy. After all, Stevie's only 2 years removed from finger painting.
Let's see yours if you think you're so hot.
That's good, that's very good.
See?
You've used a bit too much burnt umber here, but we can take care of that.
One is lower than the other. The one here is lower.
But don't let Rags hear you say that. He might refuse to sit for us again.
Do we see your painting now, Pop?
Sure. I asked to wait till your view it.
He doesn't even look like a horse. But it's very good. I think.
Children, painting is not merely photography. I'm not trying to draw one sheepdog. I'm trying to produce the essence of all sheepdogs. And I think this is a very fine essence. What do you think, Rags? Thank you. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we come to this masterpiece, this original Hal Winters. Note the technique, the bravery of the brush stroke. Now, what am I bid?
25 cents.
25 cents. Madam, do you realize that this picture may one day hang in the downstairs cloakroom?
30 cents.
That is an insult, sir.
That's no insult. That's my whole week's allowance.
Well, we'll try and raise your allowance when we sell the picture. Now, what am I bid?
50 cents, and that's my week's allowance.
50 cents, madam. Your generosity overwhelms me. I surely there's somebody in this vast crowd who will make a higher bid than that.
Mr. Winters?
The lady in the back of the hall. What is your bid, madam?
I'm Miss Lawton. I'm from the County Social Welfare Office.
Ladies and gentlemen, the auction is temporarily suspended.
Hey, there's some prettier ones out now, Pop.
Evie, don't talk shop. Madam, what can I do for you?
There are some problems I'd like to discuss with you.
Well, if you'll tell me what your problems are, I'll be very happy to try and help you.
Mr. Winters, I came here to discuss your problems. It's been brought to the attention of our agency that you're in need of some advice.
Oh, yes. Well, let's go inside and talk about it. Kids, put the painting stuff away and then check the schedule and see what you have to do.
Okay, Pop. Gee, I hope Pop goes easy on her. She looks kind of new at the game. Yeah, that's right.
Won't you sit down?
Thank you.
Tell me, what does the Social Welfare Office want this time? Same old thing?
Now, Mr. Winters, you seem like an intelligent man.
Well, thank you. You're already making more progress than most of the other workers.
Now, really, don't you think your children ought to be in school? Well, you surely don't want them to grow up uneducated, do you? You must want them to have a high correlation between their school achievements and mental maturity index.
Don't you think you're much too pretty for this sort of job?
You should try to be a little more cooperative. We're just trying to help you and your family, you know.
Yes, I know you are. But what makes you think that the welfare office knows what's right for my children?
Well, anyone knows that psychologically it's very bad for children not to be in school. They need the benefits of associating with children their own age. They need to be integrated individuals.
I bet you missed a lot of fun at those college dances.
I attended the dances. I had a lot of fun, too.
Taking notes? You are a student of psychology, aren't you, Miss Lawton?
Yes, of course. All social workers are. That's why they pick us for this type of work. The world would be a much better place if...
It's my considered opinion that the world would be a much better place if there were fewer people going around telling the others how to improve it.
Why, Mr. Winters, I was merely trying to...
Hey, Pop, would you come here for a minute?
Yeah, I'll be right with you, Stevie. Excuse me. What's the problem?
I don't understand the schedule. Psst, psst. No problem, really, Pop. Cindy's starting dinner, and she wants to know if you're inviting her.
What do you think?
I don't know.
It's all right giving aid and comfort to the enemy, isn't it? However, I don't think this one's been at it too long. Maybe we can save her.
Okay, invite her then. It's worth a try.
Yes, I think so. Well, tell me truly, have you ever eaten a better meal than that? Cooked by a 12-year-old?
No, I never have, really.
Thanks, but Pop's a much better cook than I am. It wasn't his turn tonight. But he baked the cake. It's for dessert. It's wonderful.
Let's quit the build-up, shall we, and bring it in here.
Stevie, you're supposed to clear the table. I can read the schedule. I'll get the coffee.
You have two very nice children, Mr. Winters.
Oh, they're wonderful. We've had some great times together.
I don't like to bring this up again, but, well, about what we were discussing before dinner.
What was that?
About putting your children back in school.
Oh, yes.
You don't seem to realize how serious this is. Why, what you're doing is against the law.
You mean they could send me to jail if I don't put the children back in school?
Well, they can, you know. Why are you being so obstinate about this?
Let's call it independent. And since when has it been wrong for a man to follow his own convictions?
Well, you've got to have laws for our society to exist. You also have to work and contribute something. Now, if you'd try to be a little more cooperative, perhaps I could get you a job.
I'm not looking for a job.
Well, how do you make a living?
I get an allowance from my children. Hey, that looks good enough to eat.
Oh, Pop. He always says that.
Well, it's corny, but it's true. It does look wonderful.
Oh, thank you. Of course, if I'm going to jail, I shall have to learn to bake the type that has a file in it.
Jail? Are you going to jail, Pop?
Miss Lawton's going to drag me down there unless I send you kids back to school.
We'll go with you, Pop.
I knew, General, that I could depend on you.
Well, I'm glad you think it's so funny. Just what makes you think you can go around flaunting convention? Mr. Winters, to be a well-adjusted individual, you have to learn that conforming to certain regulations is a necessary concomitant to maturing. The importance of the social intelligence quotient for personal fulfillment cannot be overestimated.
Hooray! Oh, bang goes the second chapter. I think we better enroll her on our teaching staff, don't you? I think... Now, take it easy. We were only having a little fun.
Oh, well, I'm sorry I got so carried away, but... Well, frankly, this is the first case I've been on, and I do think you all ought to be more helpful.
The last welfare lady said we were
Incorrigible, Stevie?
That's it. I have to learn that incorrigible. That's a good one.
All right, now what's the schedule for tonight?
Sunday washes, I dry if you build a fire in the fireplace.
Can't I help in the kitchen?
No, thanks. That throws off our schedule.
Oh, that mustn't happen. So, ever since then, I've been all they've had, and I've tried to be both parents at once. The way I figured it, I had to spend twice as much time with them. That's one of the reasons I didn't send them back to school.
I see. Well, that puts things in a different light. You've been very devoted.
And very fortunate. They've given me much more than I've given them.
I'm sure you've given them a great deal. But I still think it's important for them to be in school with children their own age.
Don't you ever give up?
No. If they were in school, you could get a job. Now, what kind of work do you do?
Well, I dabble in writing now and then.
Oh, you dabble in writing every now and then. Well, you've got to be more practical. Now, what kind of work did you do before?
Well, let's see. I worked as a barman and as a fireman. I got quite wet doing both of those. Then for a time I helped to build a bridge, but the bridge fell down. Then I was first mate on a freighter, but the freighter sank. Anything else you'd like to know?
Won't you try to be serious for just a minute?
Don't you ever take the night off from trying to save the human race?
Well, after all, Mr. Winters, this is my job, and, well, there are certain questions I have to ask.
Like what, for example?
Well, about your childhood.
All right, Doctor. I'll tell you. At the age of 2, I fell violently in love with my rocking horse. And this so upset my aunt that she gave me a bicycle to take my mind off the horse, but I fell off the bicycle and twisted my toe. Since when, I have been violently anti-aunt, anti-bicycle, and pro-toe. Doctor, does that help you to understand my case?
Please stop being so silly.
At the age of 8, worse was to occur. That's when the great disillusionment set in. I discovered that my parents were different.
Different?
One was a man and the other was a woman, and it took me 2 years to laugh that off.
Oh, please, I'm not a psychiatrist anyway. I'm a...
Doctor, please, would you come back?
What's the matter?
I don't know. I feel much better now.
Sounds like you're making excellent progress, Miss Lawton. There's nothing like the psychological approach to bring people around to good thinking.
And Mr. Winters is putting the children back in school this morning, and I've got a lead on a job for him.
Excuse me. Yes? Mm-hmm. I see. Yes, well, thank you very much. We'll take care of it. Goodbye. That was the school principal. Winters did not bring the children in this morning.
Well, that can't be. How promised. Mr. Winters told me that...
Now, let's not be dismayed, Miss Lawton. You're just a fledgling. Winters has stumped some of the best of our people.
Well, if you'll just let me go back there this afternoon, I'm sure I can handle it better.
No, I think you need some help. I have an open schedule. Why don't you drive me down there and watch how it's done? It'll be good experience for you.
All right.
Now, a little adversity once in a while gives us a well-rounded personality. Remember what Freud said in reference to...
Yes, I know. My car's out front. Shall we go?
Yes. Well, I'm afraid they're out. We should have phoned, but it's really best to catch them unprepared.
Well, maybe they're down on the beach somewhere.
I'm not traipsing around any beach, Miss Lawton. Come, we better get back to the office.
Hi. Oh, excuse me. Got him pretty late last night and you woke me up. Friends of Hal's?
Well, we're looking for Mr. Winters and the children. We're from the county...
We have some business to discuss with Mr. Winters, madam.
Oh, gee, they got up early. I think I heard the kids shouting something about going fishing this morning. Excuse me. I'm nowhere till I have my coffee in the morning. Would you like to come in and have some? They'll probably be back shortly.
Oh, no, thank you, no. We'll catch them some other time. We'd better be going.
Well, do they fish near here?
Mm-hmm, the pier, right at the top of the road, where you turned in.
Well, so it's so close, we might as well take a look for them. Thank you again, madam.
Yes, thank you.
No trouble at all. Oh, by the way, if you find them, Tell Hal I'm up and fixing breakfast.
Sure.
Now then, Stevie, your turn. What's the date of the Battle of Gettysburg?
The Battle of Gettysburg was in 1863.
1863, yes, very good. Well, I think that's enough Civil War history for today. Let's try you on your French lessons.
Oh, gosh, Pop. Why do I have to study French? I'm still having trouble with my English.
Stevie, these days, everybody should study several languages. Then maybe the world will get to understand itself.
Steve's really getting better, Pop. Yesterday I heard him say something in French to Rags.
Hey, that's fine. What language did he answer you in?
Oh, Pop, Rags can't talk.
That's right, he's too young, isn't he? Now we'll try our French vocabulary. So from now on, all conversation will be only in French. Vous comprenez?
Oui, Papa.
Très bien. Alors, maintenant le leçon français avec beaucoup de mots très difficiles.
Pas trop difficile.
Non, pas trop difficile. Monsieur le capitaine, qu'est-ce que c'est que ça?
Le chapeau.
Le chapeau. Et madame, qu'est-ce que c'est que ça?
Le soulier.
Le soulier, vous êtes formidable. Et monsieur le capitaine? Eh bien, qu'est-ce que c'est que ça?
Le poisson.
Le poisson. Oui, petit poisson, bien sûr. Monsieur Rags. Parlez français, s'il vous plaît.
Mon père, un poisson is on your line.
Oh, what? Poisson on the line. Help. Quick, get the net. Get. Oh, darn it, I've lost it.
En français, mon père.
Le poisson est perdu. Well, it's getting to be a nice habit meeting you all over town.
Hello, Mr. Winters.
A bit nippy out today.
This is Mr. Carter. He's the supervisor of our office.
Oh, I've heard of you, Mr. Carter. What are you doing, bringing up replacements?
I'd like to speak to you alone, Mr. Winters.
Very well, Mr. Carter. Here, try your luck. Hope it's better than mine. I told that, didn't I?
Do you know how to fish?
Sure I do. I thought you kids were going to school today.
Pop almost has. Yeah, all on account of you.
Well, what happened?
We had a meeting.
A meeting?
That's what Pop calls it when we get together and talk things over.
And apparently you decided to go on being rugged individualists.
Huh? We told Pop we'd rather have him teach us. We learn more. Besides, if we don't go to school, you'll keep on visiting us, won't you?
Well, thank you. I'd like to visit you again. But, well, what about that lady that...
Come on! Can you handle it?
Hey,
Come on!
what, you got a whale or something? Get your thumb on it. Come on. You played some hooky in your time.
You don't have to be a bum to know how to fish, Mr. Winters.
Miss Lawton.
Hey, this really is a beauty. Well done.
Miss Lawton. I've had my talk with Mr. Winters, and I must get back to the office. It's past time now. Goodbye, Mr. Winters.
Goodbye, Mr. Carter. Goodbye, Miss Lawton.
Goodbye, Miss Lawton.
Goodbye.
Come back and visit us. You promised.
Well... Then I'm through with the Winters case.
Yes. I'm giving you another assignment. The man's impossible. No use wasting any more of our valuable time.
You're quite right. What happens now? I mean, with the school authorities know.
Winters was positively offensive. Told me, among other things, to mind my own business.
But it is your business, Mr. Carter.
Not any longer. It is now in the hands of the police department.
Good. Just what he deserves.
Steady on the line.
Right there, good boy. Let's do better.
Whoa, 40. And 60, well done.
That's the game. You win again, Stevie. Good boy.
The champion. Well done, Stevie.
Good boy.
Now then, one more game for you kids, then it's off to bed.
I'll get that.
So I'll get it. It'll be for me.
That's a zero.
Hello? Oh, hello. How are you? Oh, sure, I'll meet you there. All right. Goodbye.
Come on, Pop. It's your turn.
You go ahead and start without me. I had to go out for a while.
startled me.
Well, it is me you're expecting, isn't it? Isn't it beautiful? I just love the ocean at night.
There's something very important I've got to talk to you about.
What's that?
Well, Mr. Carter called the police about that woman in your house, and they're coming to see you in the morning. I heard him say so.
Why are you telling me this?
I just happen to love your kids, and I don't want to see them get hurt. They think you're pretty wonderful.
And you don't, huh?
How do you expect me to think?
Well, I certainly don't expect you to think the same way that a busybody like Carter thinks. You're a big girl now, much too big to take gossip for granted.
Oh, it isn't gossip. It's what I saw with my own eyes.
Look, here's something that might help you to understand me and the way I live. It's a saying in my family.
I'm not interested in sayings. I just want to hear the truth.
You want it all spelled out, huh? All right. It so happens that I love you.
Simply can't believe that.
Then believe anything you want.
Well, all right, I will. Come in.
Richards, Police Lieutenant. Mr. Carter here.
Oh, no, Mr. Carter's in a meeting. I'm Miss Lawton, his assistant. May I help you?
Report on the Winters family. You want to take it?
Oh, yes, I will.
Let's see. Winters. Hal R., Associate Professor of Education, sabbatical leave to write a book.
Professor? Book?
Principles of Child Psychology. Income adequate. Educational authorities say he's admirably equipped. They say it's okay for him to teach the children at home.
Is that all?
Yeah. Oh, no, I forgot. Your boss wanted to know about a woman staying at the house. That's Mrs. Winters.
Oh, Mrs. Winters.
Yeah, sister-in-law. Husband's an airline pilot. She stays at the beach house when he's away.
Did you say sister-in-law?
Yeah, that's it. Nothing to it, just a routine report.
Oh, Lieutenant, it's not routine. It's a wonderful report. Thanks a lot.
Pop, who is called the father of English poetry?
Geoffrey Chaucer.
He wrote the Canterbury Tales.
That's right. Come on in, it's open.
Hello.
It's Marjorie! Look, Pop, it's Marjorie!
Hi.
Well, look who's here.
Could I talk to you alone for a minute?
Oh, I don't have any secrets from the children.
Well, I just wanted to explain about...
Don't do that. Remember I was trying to tell you a saying last night? Never explain. Your friends don't need it, and your enemies won't believe it anyway.
Well, then may I apologize for what I thought?
That calls for a meeting. Excuse us. Places, please. The meeting is called to order. All those in favor of accepting Marjorie's apology, say aye.
Aye!
Now, here is one very important motion before the House. All those in favor of your father marrying Marjorie, say aye.
Aye!
Of course, it's just a small technical point, but you have a vote in this, too, you know.
Oh, you're impossible.
Come on, Stevie, we've got work to do. There's nothing on the schedule for me now. Oh, yes, there is.
You thought I didn't know how to train my kids. You too, Rags.